Hey guys, welcome to Mega Maniacs. If someone could just let me know if they can hear me and see me, that would be great. Hey Annie, hey Rhea, hey Kenneth. Can you guys hear me and see me? Is that a yeah? No? Okay, awesome. Preston's World. Hey guys, I know it's like a super weird time of day. And to be quite honest, I was sort of trying to talk myself out of doing a live today, but and actually what I had prepared, it's completely changed. So I want to start off really quickly before I kind of dive into things. Um, I have some prayer requests and some things that I want to say. So first and foremost, after this is over with, I am going to have some links in the description. But Brother Jason Rembert, who is runs the podcast Moments of Truth, he was involved in a terrible accident and fire and had to be rushed to the hospital and is probably actually in surgery right now. And so just asking for your prayers for him and his family. But I'm also going to post a link. He's definitely going to be out of work for at least a couple of weeks, maybe longer than that. So I want to post a link that if you feel it oppressed upon your spirit to donate to him, that you have an opportunity to do that. So I'm going to put that in the description, like I said, after we're finished here. And then Eric Fem, I think Everett mentioned him last night. I had the opportunity of speaking with him and months ago, but please keep him in prayer. I believe that Everett said that he had a heart attack. Please keep Jonathan and Susie Lamb and his family and their family in prayer. Um, I would like to thank Everett at Ohio for Freedom, Rhea and David, Sierra, Michael, Mary Ann, Wendy, Pastor Ray at the Unction, Brother Rock Leach at Social Fire E-Church, Jason Rembert, obviously, at Moments of Truth, and Laura Lynn, Tyler Thompson. And sorry if I'm forgetting anybody, but I actually had a very good program, or so I thought, already prepared, and some things have been going on, and I just kept feeling that I needed to talk about this because myself and others, not just the ones that I've mentioned, but I know some other people that I've spoken to that have reached out either to be of encouragement to me or just needed someone to talk to or needed prayer. And so today, what I was going to talk about, we're going to save that for Tuesday night's episode that will also be live. But right now, I want to talk about struggles with anxiety, fear, and feeling overwhelmed. And I'm really going to talk more from personal experience, but I know that several people that I've talked to are kind of, or it seems to be that they're kind of in this season, or maybe it's something that you experience more frequently. These feelings of anxiety and being overwhelmed, these are not things that I'm really accustomed to be quite honest. I'm usually pretty positive and upbeat and excited about life. And over, the last month, I would say, or a little over a month, I've just felt like definitely under attack, but these feelings of fear and anxiety and really just of being overwhelmed, and trying to stay positive, trying to pray through, trying to listen to worship music, trying to be in the scriptures. And overall, I, felt like I was doing a good job. But here lately, and I am feeling better, by the way, but over the last week, things have remarkably gotten much better. But just for a quick few examples. So December 10th, me and my youngest son were actually involved in a car accident on the way to my oldest son's basketball game. And luckily, we weren't really hurt, just a little bit of whiplash. But the car that hit us was totaled. And just about a week later, which was December 18th, I received the paperwork for the lawsuit that you guys know about. And on January 2nd, my son's grandfather passed away. And then we had to have a response due to this lawsuit by January 7th. And luckily, we asked for an extension, and we got an extension. And those are some of the major things that have just been happening to me. But I know that, the others that are involved in the lawsuit are also experiencing or have been experiencing a lot of anxiety and fear and feeling of being overwhelmed. But again, just the people around us. And so I felt impressed upon to talk about that a little bit, because I think that, I've even been guilty of saying, if you have all this fear and all this anxiety and all of this, like, you're not trusting God, and you need to just, pray more and be in the Word more. And I've been convicted of saying those things, because I think that having fear and having anxiety and having these feelings of being overwhelmed at times, that it's we're human, it's normal. And during this time, for me personally, I found myself having, these conversations with God, like, all right, God, like, I know you got this. You got us. You've equipped us with everything that we need. And so we don't need to be fearful. We don't need to be, feeling all of, these feelings, like, you've got us. And then, you get hit with something else, and it's, you're still trying to stay positive, still trying to stay in your routines of things. And then you get hit again, and it's like, Lord, man, please, like, just give me something, like, just give me some kind of hope. And sometimes in that moment, that doesn't come. And so I found myself on Monday of this week, really just having almost the breakdown moment. Monday was tough for me. I struggled to even get out of bed. And I knew I was under attack. I knew it, but it was like I couldn't bring myself out of, like, what I was feeling, no matter what I did. And I made myself get up. I made myself go and do a workout. I know everybody kind of has their thing, but that's something for me that's not only, like, a part of my routine, but it helps me clear my mind and get some good, adrenaline and stuff flowing to try to feel better. and obviously praying. And I called my good friend Mary Ann over at Truth Be Told, and her and I had a very good conversation. She was very encouraging. She told me to read Psalm 35, which I did, and it was encouraging to me. But again, still found myself just crying out to God to just give me something, please, anything. Just I need something. I haven't felt any peace in my soul and in weeks, and I just need something. And God came through, and so that's for me, the praise moment, the testimony moment of having faith in moments, and not beating yourself up for having feelings of being fearful and having anxiety and feeling overwhelmed, because we are just human. And that's a normal thing. Now, I don't think that we're supposed to stay, in that mentality and in that mindset, but that when we're going through those things, that we need to exercise some grace and grace for ourselves, and talk to ourselves the way that we would talk to our loved ones and our friends, that if they called us and said, this is what I'm going through, that we would talk to ourselves the way that we would talk to them. And so I just wanted, to share some of this, because I think that hopefully it speaks to you, because it spoke to me, and it even opened my eyes to some things that maybe I wasn't completely aware of. So I'm going to try to share some scriptures throughout. But one of the scriptures, just in speaking of this, is Matthew 11:28. And it says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." And again, I'm in a much better place, today than I was on Monday. But I also think that it's so important that we have compassion for each other, and that we, if we need to cry, if we need to let things out, that we don't have to pretend like things are always okay when they're not, always okay. And anxiety and feelings of being overwhelmed, they can affect us in so many different ways. And, they affect me, especially with not being able to sleep very well, and then obviously then feeling very lethargic. But then I kind of like replay these things over and over and over again. And I also have this, I don't know if it's really a fear, but I have these thoughts of, God's not going to answer my prayers, or God's not going to help me if I'm not doing everything in my power to try to make these situations better. And so I'll find myself, obsessing over things, working, thinking that only a little bit of time has gone by, and it's hours and hours of time that I've spent on things, only to find out that I've done it completely wrong, and then feeling like so dejected and discouraged. And I just want to say it's okay not to be okay. I think that's the other thing, is that a lot of times, when we're Christians and we're always like trying to be positive and upbeat, I've always, heard like, well, don't talk about, if you're going through a hard time, and don't talk about this, because you're just giving it more power by speaking about it and speaking it into existence. And I'm like, well, you know what? We can all pretend things are all sunshine and rainbows all the time, but that's just not how it is. And we have trials and tribulations, and we go through tough times, and that's okay. Like I said, I for me, I'm not going to stay in that mindset and that mentality. But sometimes, these trials, they're not over in a day. They're not over in a couple of days. Sometimes they're not over in a month, and we have to find encouragement and find ways to get through those moments. And I didn't say this at the beginning of the podcast, but I don't have any, I don't have any cool graphics, and I don't have anything up on the screen because, like I said, what I had prepared, I'm going to do on Tuesday now, not right now. So, I just wanted to share a couple more things that, we're human in that feeling anxious and feeling depressed and feeling overwhelmed. These are not signs of weakness and signs of lack of faith, but we are human, and we go through these things, and we're not always going to be on, the highest point of the mountain and everything is always great. And I think that we need to be encouraging of one another, and also not afraid to ask for help, or ask for prayer, or ask for encouragement if we need it. And that's always been a kind of a struggle for me too, because I am, usually positive and upbeat, and usually the one that's encouraging everyone else. That when I reach out or think about reaching out to people, I don't want people to feel like I'm dumping on them, or, maybe they have their own things going on. And so I don't want to add to it. And this is just to say that's what people are there for. That's why we have a community around us. That's why we're surrounded with friends and family that we should be able to reach out to in a moment of need, and just say, look, I need some prayer, or I need some encouragement. And this is what, I need some scripture if you can recommend anything to me. So just a couple more things. This isn't not going to be a super long episode or anything like that, but like I said, just felt so impressed upon to talk about this in a little bit different format, obviously, than I usually do. But God's love and mercy are constant. And even when we are feeling unworthy and distant, He loves us, and He cares so much about us that, the Bible says that He knows every hair on our head. Can you imagine for Him to know every hair on our head, that how much that He cares when we are going through these times, and He wants us to lean on Him and press into Him during these times, and He equips us with the strength to face challenges when we seek Him. And I have another Bible verse here that I want to share, and it's Lamentations 3:22-23. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. And I actually used to love that song when I was a kid, when we would sing it in church. Great is your faithfulness. So speaking of the focusing on the gratitude. So this is something that I tell people that reach out to me and they just need some encouragement, that, it's very hard to be in a state of gratitude and being grateful for your blessings, and then also having all of these feelings of like anxiety and overwhelming feelings. And so I even practice this, every day for myself, of waking up and just talking to God about the things that I'm grateful for, and the blessings in my life. And that doesn't mean that these other feelings don't come, but it means that in those moments that I'm kind of starting my day off with being focused on the the things that God has done and is doing, and all of the blessings that are around me. Because when you are feeling anxious and overwhelmed, I think that you get so wrapped up in those feelings, um, and so focused on that you lose sight of all of the other great things, and things that you have to be thankful and grateful for. And so I practice that on a daily basis, and I encourage other people to do that as well. And like I said, that doesn't mean that these feelings don't come, and that you're not reminded of them constantly throughout the day. But it also, for me, keeps me in a place of being more focused on the Lord and focused on my blessings and the things I have to be grateful for, than just this time or season that is really, really tough. And so with speaking of that, I just want to talk about overcoming, some of those feelings of anxiety, fear, and depression. And listen, y'all, it has been a struggle this week for your girl. Not just this week. I've been struggling sort of for the last couple of weeks, but Monday was just kind of I felt like I was on the ledge there, like I need something. So, praying intentionally, speaking your fears to the Lord, giving those up to Him, meditating on scriptures to combat the intrusive thoughts. And then, back to the engaging in the gratitude, to shift the focus from stress to God's blessings. And another scripture is Philippians 4:6-7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to the Lord. And I have also found that listening to worship music for me is also helpful in these times, even if it's just to cry and get some of these feelings out. But for me, it helps me refocus. It helps me shift my mindset back to a praise and worship, rather than, poor me. And I'm not saying that in a way of making fun or anything, but I have to like look myself in the mirror sometimes, especially these last couple weeks, like, girl, snap out of it. Like, what is going on with you? God's got you. It's going to be okay. And I even in those moments, those other feelings start coming back through. And my favorite song, really, just to listen to no matter what's going on, really, is Jireh by Elevation Worship in Maverick City. And if you haven't heard it, I encourage you to listen to it. But it talks about, that the Lord hasn't loved you more than He loves you right now. And that means whether things are going great or whether you are in a storm, he loves you and he cares about you. And even the things that, other people might say, oh, that's not even a big deal. If it matters to you, it matters to him. And, it also talks about not taking a trophy to make him proud. And that to me is so moving because, as a child, I always felt like I had to earn the love, and I don't have to do anything for God to love me, and neither do you. He loves us. He cares about us, and we don't have to be doing backflips and doing, a million different things for him to care and love us, and be impressed upon the things that are going on with us. And I think that's tough, if you've had a sort of a childhood where things were tough. It's hard to even view God as, for me at least, like he just loves me for being me. Like I don't have to do anything special. I don't have to be the best at anything. I don't have to have all of these accolades. I can just be myself and he loves me, and that's good enough. And so I don't have a ton more to say other than I would encourage you to listen to that song, Jireh, if you have not heard it. And if you have, maybe just listen to it again. And be reminded of how important each one of us are to the Lord, and that you're not alone in your struggles, and that that you should lean on God's promises and trust his plan, and know that that God's will is going to be done, and that he loves and cares about you. And I am I'm grateful for all of you. I'm sorry I'm not really, looking too much at the chat right now. I just wanted to be as intentional about what I was saying, and obviously a little emotional too, but things are looking up and getting much better. And I just want to thank all of you for tuning in. And I'll be posting, like I said, the some links in the description. Please keep all of the people that I mentioned in the beginning in your prayers. You guys are all in mind, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great night and a great weekend, and enjoy your families.